What's up, guys? This video is pretty special because I'm just using raw footage, no editing. But anyways, I'm going to be teaching you how to play today. And we're just going to go down in here into Forest. And the first, which is the basics, running. So first, when you're running, you want to lay one hand out. You don't always have to hit as hard as you can, but just hit. And kind of hit off the ground again, like before you fall. Kind of like you're catching yourself. But you almost want to, when you're running, almost put your hand in this shape. And just keep running. And you could also kind of do a Lucio. I don't really know how to do it, but you just want to kind of spin your hands around like this. I don't really know how to do it. And sometimes when you're like, if you don't hold on to your controllers barely and just, it kind of just makes you even go harder. You kind of almost want to put your hands in this sort of shape and just, you usually would want to hit as hard as you can though, but either way, that's kind of the basics of running. And probably next off, we're gonna start off with pinch climbing. So you usually want to go to these two planks right here when you want to do it, and you just want to go into it like this, kind of hug the wall. You don't want to be squeezing towards the wall like this, kind of like get a little good distance away from it. Launch yourself up and catch yourself again, but just keep doing that, except put your hands about that much of a shape so you can be doing it pretty fast. And there's also a different way to get up here, which is kind of like wall bouncing, you could call it. So you'd want to get a good launch into the wall and hit yourself off of each wall. You'd want to get the hang of launching first. You could also kind of like do that. I just fell. And you could also, like, when you're doing this, you could do like little spin moves, Lucio, and just kind of just wall running. And speaking of that, next off is wall running. So when you're wall running, I usually like going to that wall right there. So I'm just gonna head over to it real quick. And you kind of want to start here. You don't want to start like right next to it. Just like right here. And again, get a good launch. And you want to be good at launching. And just, here, wait one sec. And you want to do it fast. Well, like not too fast, but when you're starting, you want to start out fast so you can stick onto the wall good. Or you kind of do want to do a little bit fast, but push up with your hand facing like this. I'm not really the best at wall running because I can't really stick to the wall that long. And I'm not really good at keeping in one spot. But next off, which is kind of similar to it, wall climbing. You could get pretty high wall climbing. There's about 2 walls that I like doing it on. It's basically, you want to get good at wall running for this, but there's many different ways. So you could do this, hit off that one, and just keep doing it in a loop. And then look at how high you are. And you can also do it like this, where you reach your hand out and push up. That one's a bit harder for me, but I'm actually kind of doing it better right now. And ow! Oh, I just hit my wall. Ow. That hurt. But anyways, the other wall that I mainly like to wall run on and wall climb on is this wall by Stump. And if you just look right here, you see a little corner where it kind of goes flat. This one's pretty popular for wall climbing. When the pumpkin was here on the Halloween update, you kind of got a good launch. But look at this. See, look at how high I am right now. So that's a pretty good wall for wall climbing too. And especially if you go on that branch up there, you could get like onto slippery walls. But next up is, let's just do getting on top of there, because a lot of people would want to do that when you start off the game. But I bet you didn't know this. You could go behind the stump. I never really thought of this until a while playing into the game. And you should see that there are pretty big walls. You want to get good at wall bouncing first, because this basically is wall bouncing. Just wall bounce onto each one and launch onto this to take a break, and then it gets to the hard part, bouncing off these ones. So this kind of bounce a bit harder, a bit more up, until you're finally on top of the stump. There's also another way to do it, and you can do it once you start in the game, get into the game. So right here, you see these branches. You don't want to go into that one. You'd want to go into this one. So just kind of get onto here. And then this one's going to be hard. Want to go kind of about this spot and launch and hit onto there till you're on this big branch. And then you just launch on top of the stump. And next up is branching. So branching, when you're branching, it's actually kind of easy. Like, it's easy, but not easy to do. So, like, it's, like, simple, but it's not very easy. So, you'd want to just bounce off to branch, but you'd want to make sure you know where you're launching to, because there's also different routes for it, which that makes it better. So, you could just kind of launch branch to branch. You want to get good at launching, which you usually want to get good at launching for a lot of stuff in this game. Like while running, while climbing, while bouncing, and just a lot of stuff. So you just got to really practice the basics of running and bouncing high and not being afraid of hitting something in real life. Oh, and then, then you can be good at it. So that's pretty much seems like everything I've got down so far. Except I just don't know verticals. But next off, let's do jukes. So when you want to juke someone, you want to find like good spots that you could bounce off of or spin on. So sometimes you could take this for an example. It doesn't always work, but you could do it. So you just hit it and bounce off, but you want to do it fast. And you'd want to bounce pretty high so they couldn't get a reach of you. And there's also the slide juke. So in the slide juke, you don't really need to launch really fast until I just launch. Make your arm go inside and flip around like that. So I'm just going to be doing it fast. Sorry. I just hit my wall too. Kind of like that. This is kind of the reason why I usually don't use raw footage, except I don't use raw footage, except I'm just using it just so the better video quality. But next off, since you're learning how to play fully Gorilla Tag, let's just learn the basics of computer. So when you're at computer, you could join different codes. Right now I'm in my fan code, which you should totally join. But usually it would just start off with nothing. You could type different keys with your fingers. So type different stuff. And you click enter to join a code to go into a private lobby. And there's also different modes. Like right now I'm in casual, but in infection, when you join your little private lobby, you'd get a red speed boost. So just wait 1 second. A red speed boost, which I don't recommend practicing this with because it just makes you bad at the game a little bit when you're not using the speed boost. Because it just makes you launch way more. Because, like, look at that. So you'd, like, play better, but it's not very good for practicing in. And the different mode they have is Paintball and Guardian. I don't really know much about them, but they're limited time, so join them while you can. But I'm just going to go back into casual real quick, and if you click the down arrow, you can change your name. Forgot that my name is Joey from the last video, but let's just change my name. It's the same thing. Just type on the computer or whatever you want it, and then enter. Then boom. Oh yeah, and when you're like, so like, let's say you're in a private lobby, and you're like, oh, I don't want to. So you just click option 1, and then you should be going into a public lobby. I don't know why I'm not in a public lobby and why it changed my thing. But speaking of changing your thing, here's how to change your color code. So first, you should see these little things. So you'd want to get your pointer finger out and put it beneath it. And lift them up and down to change it. And there's also different numbers here, but so my usual is yellow. It's kind of like mixing colors of paint to make different ones. Like how all of them up make white and all of them down make black. But anyways, I like having mine at yellow because it's like my profile picture and everything. And let's just do next off. Once you click it again, it's the same thing with color codes, except you could just type it on your computer. And then if you click down again, your turn speed, which is how fast like you turn when you move the joysticks. So right now it's only at 8 and type smooth. If you click option 1, it turns to snap. So let's just do that, and let's turn this to 9. And then look it. On snap, it only moves singularly, but if you just click it on smooth, it just kind of goes like that. And on none, I've never tried this, but it's where you don't turn. So I like having this at smooth. Right now it's the fastest turn speed, but you can also just put it to 1 to turn really slow. Then if you click the down arrow again, you should see push to talk, mute, or all chat. Right now I have it at all chat, but if you want to mute yourself, just click this option 2 button. Then going down again, you should see your current queue. So if you made it past the little parkour course and made it to competitive lobbies, you could do that. But if you click option 2, you're in a minigame. And option 1 for just default. I don't really want sweaty lobbies. If you want sweaty lobbies, just click option 3 for competitive. But after that, if you click down again, I do not remember doing this, but I guess it's a troop. I'm gonna guess it might mean clan or something like that. But if you click down again, it might just mean 2. If you just click the different numbers for the things, I'd put that on. I don't really know what it means. Anyways, next. So this one is where if you click option 2, you sound like a monkey, and it's basically muting yourself. So it'll go like, ooh, 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 ah. You hear it for other players, but you could just do your normal voice for option 1. I like putting on human, obviously. So this one is, I don't really know about that much, but yeah, anyways, you get the point here. And I know this one shouldn't really be on the video, and please do not do it without permission, but it's just buying stuff. So you get 100 shiny rocks every about day. Right now I have this much. And how to buy them? You want to select something that you have enough for. So there's also free stuff like these badges. And let's just say I want this one, so you click add to cart. You go over to this little thing right here. And then you'd want to see select. Click on that. I already have it. But then if you want it, yes, I need it. And then it double checks with you. And if you want it to be yes, you click on the left side this time. Then boom, you should have it. And you go over to the wardrobe, and you should see that one in badges right there. And next off is actually buying shiny rocks. Just head to the ATM, and then you can see your balance or purchase, which I'm not going to click, but make sure you have permission before you do this. So anyways, yeah. Well, that's pretty much the end of the video, but I'm just going to give extra, like a bonus thing. This is where you go to try getting competitive lobbies. So like if you really get good at all that, you could just try completing the obstacle course. But just for a warning, the walls are slippery, so do not try wall running on them for anything, because this is what would happen. You can't. It's kind of just like ice. But anyways, that's pretty much how you play the game in Gorilla Tag. I might make part 2s for different maps. Like I'll teach you how to go on the ice in the mountains, or use the zip lines and swim in beach, and maybe even another one where I could just teach you how to move around the maps. But that is how you play Gorilla Tag in 2024. Make sure to subscribe. This is raw footage, so you're not getting really any editing or any cuts. So I'm sorry about that, but anyways, make sure to subscribe.